Hello, Lady and the Frog's here. I feel that I should have a frog suspended here to block out the stuff which I haven't tidied up. But, you know, it's like everywhere. If I put him here, you know, here is washing. Behind me is still a terrible coffee table. Kitchen is still clean. However, we've still got flies. I'm bewildered. I am bewildered. It is driving me absolutely crazy. I've had a number of days off, which I'm sure you've noticed. My husband was off anyway, bank holiday weekend. Had a bit of fun. And we had cocktails one night, so obviously there was a bit of drink and fruit that had been chopped out, and there was just loads of flies around it, even though I'd done the cleaning, you know, and I've cleaned it away and there's still flies there. I'm sure there's one under the table there. It's just driving me nuts. I've cleaned the bin. How do you get rid of them? Is it because I've got a stinky person living underneath me who's infested? Anybody has any clues? So, it's Thursday today. I spent some time yesterday editing a video, and then Microsoft decided to get rid of it. So I don't know why. It's frustrating because I have a lot of trouble editing my videos because it's disrupted while it's putting it on OneCloud, which I don't want. And then, so I've got backups of all the clips, but what I needed was a backup of what I'd put together and edited. But no, I didn't do that because that would have been helpful. You know, can't have Microsoft being helpful. So this is going to be a quick one so that I don't have to mess around editing it, just so I can get something on YouTube. And because I need to get on with work. And, you know, that's the trouble with being in holiday mode, is that you then can't get out of holiday mode. So I had a decent amount of stuff going out on Tuesday. My husband was still off, so I didn't film. I just sent it. I only had 3 things that I posted yesterday. I have 8 today, don't know why. Cheap stuff. I've also had a lot of problem buyers, stupid messages. I'm sure half of them are just lonely, you know, men in their room with something in their hand who want to just chat to somebody, and they can't get, you know, a dominatrix they'd have to pay, so they just want to get in a conversation with you. So a lot of the stuff which I'm selling for cheap, you know, the people want the Rolls-Royce service, which they get the Rolls-Royce service, but they have like problems with everything. Everything, you know, is the wrong shade of blue, or it's your fault that they've got fat and it doesn't fit you. If they return it, but they don't return it, but obviously they've returned it, but you're in another dimension and you haven't received it, so that's your fault. So a lot of that. Somebody else, which was very annoying, and I've ended up just refunding her because she was in New Zealand, but was pretending that she wanted it sent into one of these cargo shipping hellholes, which is always run in, you know, the back end of Middlesex or a HA postcode or something. Whenever I've had problems and I've been defrauded out of money, it's always Middlesex, HA, that bit of London. So although it had been sent there and it was technically their problem, she would not quote their reference to this stupid place called U-Ship or something, U-Shop. So she'd opened a dispute. I've also had bad feedback from somebody on a pair of Rebel trousers. And I actually remember on the video here, I says, oh, the label curls up underneath. And she'd put on the feedback that there's no size label on this. These aren't the right size for me. They're heavily worn. But she didn't open a return. She just put this shitty feedback on. So I haven't been able to get that revoked. All I've done is just put a remark on it. And I've kind of just let that slide because I just thought, oh, do you know, it's just one of those. I had a neutral feedback that was just sort of sliding off. So, you know, you can't win them all, can you? and if you dwell on the negatives, you just forget about all the good things, all the good buyers that you have. It's just, I think because I've been having this of like accepting low offers, really attracted some knobheads. So things that I'm going to be posting today, I have this hair dye, which when I was in isolation, my husband picked this up for me, but this is just hair makeup, so I don't want that. It was 50p and I've got $3.99 for that. This jumper, which I've had for a while, Dremel. So it's a Scotland knit. I'm convinced there's a hole in it, but there's not. I've got £25 for that. That would have been a £3 thing. This has been knocking around since Doomsday. I have sold this a number of times, but they don't bloody pay. I've got a lot of them as well at the moment, people that don't pay. So it's just a golf top, long sleeve. I've had £12 for that because I'm sick of the sight of it. This pair of, they're really cool wide leg trousers. They're by Fat Face. I've got 15 for them. See, I don't mind accepting offers because sometimes I do pick up a lot of dross. These are Reese shorts. What did I accept for these? 18, I think, or maybe 15. Yeah, I think it's only 15 because there's a funny pinky mark on them, which you can't see. I had trouble photographing it. It's on one of the pockets. Oh, I can't see it. No, it's a bluish mark. So there's a bluish mark there, but I think these are really nice. So yeah, 15 for them. Another Lego thing. I'm going to open this. I'm actually going to put a thing of foam. We've got a whole ton of this. The other complication sheet that we had, we were going to put lino down on the, you know, I cleaned that kitchen within an inch of its life, and we were going to put lino down. You know, you think that would be just a, you know, half an hour job, just putting a piece of lino down. No, not here. The water runs off in the corner of the work surface. You know, we tend to just wipe it up, and it happens a lot. But it obviously happened with the previous owners, and the previous owners had had like a bad flood. So the wood floor that you have here, this wood floor that I'm on, extends all the way into the kitchen. So the previous owners had obviously had an accident with the wood floor. And it had gone all warped and horrible. So then, instead of doing something about that, they just put lino on top of it. And then we moved in, and the lino was gross. So we put our piece of lino on top of that, without really looking. And then because the wood floor underneath it was warped, it had got a hole in it, which had, so two of the things had come together. So when we took our lino up, we found that the floor was really cracked and it was just awful. So we've had to take all of the floor, the laminate flooring up, because I mean, who puts laminate flooring in a flat, in a kitchen anyway? So we've had to take all of that up, and then the floor underneath it, the lining where it was, you could see how far the previous leak had actually gone because of the discoloration. So then we had to take all that up, which took a while. So that's why the DIY job that we did took ages. So then we bought some of this because I did not want to go to B&Q I didn't want to go to B&Q on a bank holiday Friday. So we instead we went to B&M, who have there's a furniture thing as part of our B&M store, and they do have a lot of stuff and DIY stuff, and so they had this floor lining which we've ended up putting down. So now I've got this big tube of this, so now this is part of my packaging supplies. So when I send this Lego, I'm just going to put that on there, stop it from moving around quite so much. So that's the intention. So that's the story behind that. The floor looks nice and it does feel better, but it's very bouncy now because we've got this. And it's 2 layers of lino because we've kept the other layer of lino on there. So I mean, hopefully now no crazy holes are going to appear in it because we've got rid of the crappy bit. So anyway, back to what I'm posting today. I have this jacket, which is a linen jacket, so it's quite good that it's sold. And that's white stuff, very old label. There's a few flaws in this, so they probably haven't read that, and that'll be coming back. And it'll be my fault that I did not, you know, direct them to read this. And then the last thing which they're going out is this. It's an aeroplane. Yeah, this friend set. So these haven't sold that quickly. I've got £17 for that. That's reasonable. As you know, I only got all this in a £5 lot. The hotel has already sold for £55. They gave me very good feedback, which thankfully tacked on to the negative feedback which I had. So hopefully people will read their really glowing feedback about my Lego rather than the knobhead response. But everybody will read the knobhead response, won't they? Because that's the world we live in. So there we go. I'm going to get all this in the post. I'll show you the kitchen. I mean, it's still clean. I'm just pissed off that there's flies. We have an electronic fly zapper and it doesn't seem to be doing the job. So oh no, it's just Trafford, isn't it? It's Trafford, the land of discarded mattresses. You'll never win the battle here. So I am going to do listing. As you can see, I have stuff to list. I haven't done enough. I need to get on with it. My room, my back room, my storage room looks terrible. I need to just crack on with all of that. That's my intention for the day. And I am just going to sit down and do it because I'm just feeling a little bit frazzled. As you know, a woman with fibroids is going to do for 2 weeks of the month. So that's another thing. I phoned my doctor this morning and still can't get them to answer it. They just said there's too many people on the phone line at the moment. Ring back. This call has ended. So I don't know. I do need to speak to somebody, not, you know, speak to a computer, because it was a right fast last time I tried to book online, because I do actually need to speak to somebody, because yeah, I need to speak to somebody. I don't see, yeah, well, it's part of the population call, isn't it? Anyway, let's get on with things. Oh, pigeon. It's Friday morning now, and I was hoping to have a really productive day. Just listing. I haven't done my post run yet because I've hardly sold anything. Well, I've sold one thing yesterday, which is annoying. I suppose I could have accepted some of these stupid offers that come through. I wanted to do lots of photographing, lots of listing today. I haven't been outsourcing for about 2 weeks now. Yeah, that's right, 2 weeks. But I have been trying since probably about April to get through to my doctors, and every time my phone, it's a pain in the ass. But I have managed to get through to them today. I've phoned them several times this week, so I've just persevered. But you ring them and then they say there's too many people on the phone line, and then they just cut the call and they say phone back later, and then the same thing happens. So that's what's happened. And then they say, use our online consult, it's faster, it's easier. So I've been doing that this morning, and it's been doing this. You know, the good old 404. So then eventually when I managed to get the phone line to work, then that thing started working. So I could have actually booked my appointments, but I did speak to somebody. So now I have appointment after appointment this month. Then I had another one which they've actually sent me a letter for, my asthma check, saying you must ring for an appointment within 21 days. So I've rung, and that appointment is for March next year, March 2022. It's so ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, the upshot is that I have to go out and have my blood pressure taken, because for some reason I was only given a 3-month supply of a pill, I think. I don't know. Anyway, all I want to do is take photos of all this stuff here that I wanted to do. So this thing that I've sold is this. And the reason that I've got it over the back of this chair is because it was returned to me because it's navy and I put that it was black. I mean, maybe I did just list it in the wrong light. I mean, this is very much a black rug, and it's very much black on this rug, which I've got here. So I've put on there, I've put on the listing that it is navy blue, very dark navy blue. I mean, this is a goth handbag. You can't get much more goth than that. Is it? I don't know. It is dark navy, I suppose. But I really did think it was black. I suppose that's it. I must have just listed it in some stupid light. But this is it. I'm not feeling it, because we're coming into that time of year where it's just constantly stupid light. You wake up, and if you don't wake up, you miss all daylight. I've got to hoover this carpet because it's shedding wool. So I'm going to do what I can for the next 2 hours and then go. I think the thing is that if I'd known that I was going over to this, because they won't take me at that, but my actual doctor's saying, we're not doing appointments at the moment, your doctor's surgery. They're doing them over there. I tried to book in as well for a flu jab, but they haven't got any. My husband, he's over 50, so he's been asked. So they've obviously got their flu jab stuff, but my surgery haven't got the supply yet. So they can't even book the free-for-all session, which I do not want to go to. So I hate having it late. The one year that I ended up really bad with asthma was actually the year that I had my flu jab in December. And that's when I was very ill. And my medication stopped working. So there we go. Right, so I'm going to print this label off, and then hopefully it might chivvy some more sales, so that at least I'm going out with more parcels. This surgery that I'm going to, if I go that way, I like to go to this other charity shop, but I am not going because there is too much stuff everywhere. I will show you what the state of the place, because I haven't really achieved enough. Although I said I wasn't sourcing, I have grabbed these this week because somebody else said that they were doing quite well. So these are all different. I'm tempted to keep that one because it's the year we got married, but then that's just silly because why? But I do like that one because it does have, they call him Zippy, so it's got Zippy on it. But these are all from the Manchester markets. I think that one's probably quite a rare one. 15 years. And then 2006. So these ones are very similar. And then I've got this Smarty one because I thought, oh, I remember that, but it turns out it's worth not very much. So I've got all these like sundry bits here which I wanted to photograph, but the light is a bit naff. I've got washing up. So I'm just going to sit and list that. I may do photos or not. And then as usual, it looks terrible in there. So sod it. And then this is the new floor that we put down. So I do need to paint the kickboard, obviously, because we've replaced that. As we ended up having to pull all of this up, what was underneath it, because this floor continued through, but then there'd been water damage because it runs off here. I mean, you can see that we're keeping it clean, but we do still have flies. I just don't know where they're coming from. It's driving me nuts. I mean, maybe it's the bin. Maybe it's the bin. We have bought one of them because we were that desperate because of the stupid fly situation, but it doesn't... Some of them, they're just not attracted to it. So anyway, that's the floor done, and it is better, so that's a bonus. But I've still got loads of other chores to do. It's past... What are we on? What are we on, Stephen? I don't know. All I can see is reflecting light. It's gone 3 o'clock. I think it's 3:30. I have done my appointment. They want to take my blood, but they haven't got enough vials or something. I don't know. Anyway, my prescriptions will be okay. I think that's okay. I wore my mask so as not to offend anybody, because last time I went to this place there was a row because it said I was exempt. So I only had that one sale, and then when I was out my phone chimed 3 times, so now I've got 3 sales. It's typical, absolutely typical. And then of course it was a bit clammy when I got back. I decided to do a workout, so I've done a workout. I did a workout yesterday as well, so hopefully I can keep that up and, you know, stop being lazy and actually get back down to the size that I was. I don't like how heavy I am, so I'm going to get that sorted. Listings I did this morning, there's probably only about 7 that I've done there, so I'm going to carry on with that now. It's the last thing I wanted is to have an appointment in the middle of the day, so it was frustrating enough. Lots of riffraff on the streets, but you know, riffraff is riffraff. Lots of homeless people over there. I think one of them was in that, is it Lee Stafford film, documentary? Anyway, I might make a habit of doing a later post run, and then using the fact that I've been out and done a walk and a warm up and then going straight into a workout. I might do that going forward, because I definitely need, you know, this sort of the general discussion that I had with the nurse. You know, the impression I get is that it's up to you to look after your health. There's only so much they can do anyway, so I do need to exercise and eat well. You know, eat well, eat fast food. That's all anybody does around here. The amount of cyclists delivering food that nearly run me over just going out. So anyway, I am going to wrap the video up. I'm going to carry on doing some more listings, and you know, do all these other things that I did. I also did some decluttering today, so it's been quite a productive day. It's not over yet, so let's finish and get a load more listings. I'm going to try and do at least another 10 things, because I've got lots of stuff photographed and I want to get it out of the way. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will be back again soon. See you then. Bye. Subscribe or die.